Bizarre Brain Comics. Nuk ner traknampu. Korak chod jich Voltev tuk vo. Greetings, Terrans. I am Captain Korak of House Voltev, and I am here for Bizarre Brain Comics. And we're going to talk about this Pakhomvam. It's this comic book. This is... It has no Klingons in it. Star Trek, the early years. Number 6 from 1997. Kapla. Yes, this is Star Trek, the early years, number 6 from 1997 from Marvel Comics. And for those of you who may not be aware, this was a series that's featured Captain Pike and the crew of the Enterprise. And this is decades before Strange New Worlds, which is a current series of featuring Captain Pike and the crew of the Enterprise. But I've never seen that show. I don't do the streaming stuff. Okay, and this is written by Ian Edgington and Dan Abnett, with pencils by Patrick Zurcher and inks by Greg Adams, with colors by Janice Chiang. And Star Trek The Early Voyages is a comic book series which ran for 17 issues published by Marvel Comics in 97 and 98. It was one of the most popular Star Trek titles from the brief period that Marvel had the license in the late 90s. And it was canceled unceremoniously on an unresolved cliffhanger. This series is set a decade before Kirk's 5-year mission on the Enterprise, when the ship was commanded by Captain Christopher Pike. And this is drawing on the characters and situations established in the first Star Trek pilot, The Cage. So surely you remember that one. And this is when that was when Jeff... Oh, all of a sudden I can't think of his name. Jeff something, who played Captain Pike. And it was a good thing that that was that pilot wasn't picked up, because I think he wound up passing away before the series ever aired. I'm not positive on the dates on that. So, and here we see the cover. Very stark white background to really bring emphasis to the tragic main image. It says, Vulcan logic versus Vulcan passion. Spock must choose. Oh. At this point, Spock was a junior officer, and I guess he had just relatively recently graduated from Starfleet Academy. But I want to point out the artwork. I'll get to on the inside is really. I mean, this is all these people. I don't know. I'm completely unfamiliar with all these creators. The only name that sounds familiar is Janice Chiang, and but I think it's overall a well-crafted story, and it is very well drawn and told visually. But I have to say the artwork is very, very reminiscent of Neil Adams, or 60s, early 70s, Neil Adams, and including not just the drawing, the dynamism, the figures, but the page layouts are very reminiscent of that period of Adams as well, because he did a lot of innovative page layouts back then, which a lot of other artists then picked up. And this story, it is the second part of two, and in this, the Enterprise has been sent on a mission to I didn't catch the name of the planet. There were to find the survey vessel, the USS Cortez, which Starfleet had lost contact with, and they get there, and some of the crew, Captain Pike, Spock, and a few others, are on the planet. And it turns out that this planet has a lost colony of Vulcans who've been there for about 2,000 years before they embraced the logic of Sarek. They're basically Romulans, but they couldn't use Romulans this early because they hadn't had didn't know that the Romulans and Vulcans were related at that time. And but it's a lost colony of Vulcans, and they are very warlike, very aggressive, and they are in the middle of a civil war in this lost colony. Certain rebels, and they have taken over the Cortez, and that's where we enter the fray, because they have using the Cortez, and apparently they've slaughtered this group of rebel Vulcans, had slain everyone on the Cortez, took over the ship, and then attacked the Enterprise. Here we are, Cloak and Dagger, Part 2 of 2. I here see all kinds of static discharge and all kinds of weird stuff going on. And here I wanted to read this. Space, the final frontier. Before James T. Kirk, before Jean-Luc Picard, there was Christopher Pike. These were the voyages of the Starship Enterprise, its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Dun dun dun! and good drawings of the ships. Now these Enterprise, the starships, they are difficult to draw well. I know I've done a lot of them, and you can see in like when DC had the license, sometimes the depictions of the ships were not quite there, but most of the time they were, because it is very difficult to draw convincingly, and these artists did a great job. So the Enterprise has been zapped by an unknown weapon on the Cortez. It's basically out of commission. Nothing's working properly, and so things blasting, smoking, and everything. Then suddenly, a bunch of Vulcans are beaming aboard. Silent General Quarters, stand by to repel. Vulcans? To your surprise, here on the planet, we get the captain's log. Stardate 2396.6, and they're there with the stable government ruled by the matriarch, and the communications broken off. Here, it's a really nice depiction of all great images of these characters. I also noticed that the costumes of, in this case, the Vulcans, are very comic book-esque, a little more out there than you probably would have seen on the show. And he can't communicate, and they're informed that they're being attacked. He understands that they're being attacked, and here's these other Vulcans on their they're fighting them off using their lasers, blam 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 zap, and of course the Vulcans are just using their LARPA weapons. But the Enterprise crew is making a good go of it, taking them out. Here's their engineer. I think his name is Grace, and and number one is in command. And okay, they took care of everyone, all the Vulcans on the ship, on the Enterprise, and but they're still pretty much out of commission. And this Vulcan guy here, he does not think anything of denigrates Spock and humans, and he just embraces the violent passions that the Vulcans had before. And there they talk. Here they are on the Enterprise. They've got a little bit of time because the Cortez is pulled back, so they're trying to get the ship up and going again. Here they are again. And the crew members on the planet are not. They're being treated as guests, but they understand that they are prisoners. And then they we'll take these rebels. We'll take care of them. Even if we have to destroy your ship in the process. But we need your ship so we can go back. We have to destroy their ship and because they want to take possession of the Enterprise and go back and conquer Vulcan. And they have this other weapon that they had developed that Spock is familiar with because it was out of legend. It was theorized, but never constructed, because the use of this weapon would wind up destroying the very planet. It draws on the energies of the planet it's based on and would destroy the planet. So that we're going to take them out and it'll destroy this planet. But that'll be okay because we're going to be on your ship. Apparently they're going to be leaving a lot of people behind. I don't know how large the population of this must be, but there must be thousands at least of Vulcans to have built all this stuff in 2,000 years. And here this guy whacks Spock when Spock objects. And they denigrate the logic of the current Vulcans, so they will be easy prey. Well, here Enterprise is still trying to keep going. They make Captain Pike and a couple get in their shuttlecraft and head back to the Enterprise. They're going to head back to the Enterprise to draw out the Cortez, and which it works, zaps the shuttlecraft. Enterprise tries to help because they're getting their stuff back going. They're taking fire from the Cortez, trying to draw the fire away from the shuttlecraft so they can get aboard the ship. Meanwhile, everyone else is still on the planet. And zam, they try that weapon again, but they manage, their shields are holding, and the Vulcans on the planet, they energize and fire the weapon, which, kablooey, magnificent display there, takes out all the rebels and the Cortez, just obliterates the ship. And Pike takes back command, says, okay, we've got to get, because they realize the planet is coming apart from the effects of this weapon, and we've got to get our people back. So they take a risk and they dive down into the atmosphere. You can see all of the flames from reentry on the hull of the ship. So that here we see the planet is coming apart, just like right out of Superman, with Krypton falling apart and exploding, and Spock is comforting the matriarch who has been fatally injured, and all the others said, "It's okay, we're dying. We're dying, but we're dying as we lived." So the others got the contact with the Enterprise, and all the crew members are beamed back aboard, while the planet is shattered and all the Vulcans in the colony are destroyed. Then later on the Enterprise, Spock had been kind of waffling a little bit between the ultimate logic and embracing his human emotions. But this experience has taught him that the passions are destructive and they kill people. Logic does not. He says, "Passion kills, Captain. Logic does not." And he's in meditation, trying to purge himself of emotion, to embrace total logic, to make way for the Spock that we know later. And that is all I've got this time for Star Trek: The Early Voyages. Da 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 da. That's a fun read. I kind of wish I'd gotten more of these back then. I didn't get too many. I had a couple of issues, but not very many. And I'd like to get a hold of some more. So thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. And do leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Early Voyages and compare that to, if you've seen it, the Strange New Worlds episodes. I don't know anything about Strange New Worlds. So let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.